Hello, welcome to Eva J's Mystical Messages. I am sorry about my appearance. I look a little bit bedraggled. My hair has gotten really too long. I need to go to the hair salon and get it fixed up, but I just am too lazy to do it. I'm supposed to have an appointment in March, but I'm not sure if I really want to go through with it because the last time she did my hair, I ended up looking like Angela Merkel, and I really don't want to look like Merkel. I want to look like me. So that's what's going on. So I have it pulled back with a little band here so that I can read without having the hair flop over in my face. I noticed it on the other videos. That's what was happening. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this way, and then the hair will not flop over in my face. Of course, the band might fall off or something silly might happen, but hopefully it won't. But at any rate, yeah, about yesterday's video, I was very, very happily surprised that the reception I got from it was as positive as it was. I thought that maybe I was whining or complaining or what have you. The ego coming in and saying all of this stuff that is not actually to my highest good or to my better well-being. So I'm really, really glad that the people who commented have been so kind and so loving, and I just want to thank you before I start today's meditation. So thank you, bless you. I hope that you will continue to watch the videos and that you will enjoy them. So with that said, as we're on day 13, lucky number 13. So today is February 11th, 2025, and I'm just going to get started and read through what I got here. So I started with saying, yesterday was hard. I questioned everything I was doing. And Metatron says, you have for a while been doing that. You needed the release. I said, perhaps, but it felt weird because usually when I do that, someone says, you're just whining or feeling sorry for myself. Metatron says, yes, I know, but everyone needs a little help sometimes. The biggest mistake is not asking for help when you need it. Life is not always sunshine and daisies. And Sunshine comes in and says, you called? And I said, hello, Sunshine. And Metatron says, nice of you to join us. But I think the idea is clear. Sometimes things have to be dark so that you can see the light. I said, well, things are pretty darn dark around here at the moment. I don't mean with me, just in general. And Nigel says, yes, they are. I would like to ask you something about your story. You did read it from start to finish, did you not? And I said, sure did. And Nigel, you were so right. Not just that you were right, but you affirmed that the work that I was doing with the pendulum was also right. I know you didn't want to discourage me about sharing my work, but after reading the story, and my voice sort of trails off, and he says, well, what about it? Nigel asked, what about it? And I said, it sucked. Big time. I know that I'm more critical of my work than I am of the work of others, but seeing as I wrote it 20 years ago, it was awful. And Metatron says, you are too critical of yourself. I said, Metatron, did you read it? And Metatron says, I know of it. I said, okay, what did you think of it? What do you know of it? The only thing good was the grammar. I pride myself on writing coherently. But this was not my usual feel of a story. It was like an extension of the stuff my friend and I wrote. And Metatron says, yes, but it was a stepping stone on the path to being able to weave a good yarn. And I said, okay, Nigel, you know about the story. What are your thoughts? And Nigel says, well, first of all, I'm your guide, not an angel. The character of Grace was a nice original character, and some of the ideas that you put into the story were good, specifically about my being there for her, but fantasy is all it was. The Nigel in the story was not me. I do not dress in that style, and the only reason you heard an English accent is because of your fascination with the way the English people speak. And I asked, how do you sound? And Nigel says, like a guide. I said, no, I mean, do you speak with an accent? And Nigel says, everyone speaks with an accent. You hear in your heart the sound that what sounds English, but it is simply because you associate that to me. What matters are the words you say, not how they are spoken. Someone could speak in the most melodic fashion, and it won't matter if their words are false and unkind. And I said, oh, I see. Like when I was talking about how lovely I think the French language is, they could be saying I should F off, and I would be like, oh, that sounds so pretty. And Sunshine says, I would have a bone to pick with that if someone ever said that to you. I said, I know, Sunshine, but I'm just saying as an example. Sunshine says, I know, but Nigel never lets me get a word in edgewise. Okay, well, anyway, I sometimes think that about the idea. It is odd. I have always had a fascination with the French language. And Metatron asked, didn't you try learning? I said, yeah, I did back at the university, but the instructor didn't like me, and I could tell by her behavior that she didn't. I seem to sense this with people. If they don't like me, there's something in their energy. And Nigel says, it's your level of empathic tendencies. You love people and like to learn about them. But if they do not like you or their energies are incompatible to yours, you notice it. And I said, yes, I always could tell. It's like there was someone I knew some years ago. I got the impression that she did not like me based on postings that I had written. But I found myself, after I met her, kind of wanting to go my own way, but not really saying so. At any rate, at some point, I posted something on my wall on Facebook, and she freaked out about it and told me that I offended her by posting that. And soon after that, I exited from her life. The same thing happened recently with someone that I knew for over 30 years. Metatron says, not every person you will meet will be compatible to your energy. Some will leave your life because they cannot or will not accept your nature or spiritual path. What someone told you a few days ago, a comment, was absolutely true. You will find that spiritually there will be those who will not know what to make of you. I said, heck, I don't know what to make of myself sometimes. That was why the suggestion that Nigel made about the story is so significant. It reaffirms to me that this is all real. I'm not making any of this up. It is not fantasy. It is real. And Sunshine says, of course it's real. Our fun with your rods was also real. Do I need to whack you on the bean a few more times? I said, I get the message, but sometimes in this real world thing, the proof is in the pudding. And Sunshine says, tapioca? Yuck. And I said, I prefer mocha flavored or maybe even vanilla. Sunshine says, but you are losing weight, down 20 pounds. So proud of you. I said, it feels good. I still have 20 to go. And she says, you've got this. And I said, I hope so. Is there anything else I need to know? Metatron says, I think today you have enough to chew on. I said, just know that and Nigel says, just know that no matter what, you are loved and cherished. The good you do will always be its own reward. Take a deep breath and know that all will be well. You've got the talent and the wisdom to move forward. Just trust yourself and know that all is well. And I said, thank you all. I love you. And they all three say, we love you too. So that was today's meditation. That was a lot nicer than yesterday's. And I will admit that having gone through yesterday's meditation, I really needed that to really find some center in all of this. I found that the silliness from a couple of days ago did need some balance. And so I'm finding that with each day that there is a little bit of fun, but also a little bit of balance that kind of brings me back to the focus. I cannot emphasize enough that Nigel's reaffirmation about the story is so vitally important to me, because when I first went into it and I mentioned posting the story, Nigel hedged about it and he said, "No, you shouldn't do it because, because it's fantasy. It's really not, there is nothing truthful about it. I mean, the only thing that was truthful was that the grammar was okay." And the thing is, the writing that I did 20 years ago compared to the writing of today is vastly different. It's like another person wrote it. So I wasn't offended when Nigel said that I should not post the story. I was just not sure. And when the pendulum started going like this and doing the no, then I was like, well, I wasn't insulted. I was just like wondering, why is it that why he is so adamantly opposed to the story? And then I read the story, and then I understood why it was he was opposed to the story. So there was like that connection that reaffirmed that everything that was going on was actually going on. It was actually real and was really happening. So I'm really grateful to him for actually saying no to me on that story, because I might have really made an error in posting it. And so I now realize that, having listened to him, that I have saved myself a lot of grief, because I'm not going to post the story. The story itself was about a girl who went to a Renaissance festival, and there she met Nigel, or a character, not my guide, but a character named Nigel, who was an angel, and he took her back in time to like the 19th century. And she had to learn to love herself, and she encountered other characters, other characterizations. One was the creator, one was another woman who was like an angel or so. And she encountered them, and they basically taught her also about loving herself and accepting herself. So, in essence, the story was about learning to love and accept yourself for who you are, and not try, and there was a small part of it that was about changing yourself to suit the will of others. And I think that the message was really kind of an awkward message. And in the story, the character of Grace changed herself, became more feminine, to appease the people that were around her. So basically, the message in it was not the message that I think my guides would have wanted me to take away from it. So the story itself became a sort of a mixed signal, if you will, about what self-acceptance and self-love really are. So that is why I won't be posting the story, but I will be writing other stories, or I might be posting another story that I wrote called The Brother and the Bear, which is about a teddy bear who's looking to find a home. And that story has some good messaging in it. So I'm going to try and be consistent with the messages. Whatever stories that I do read aloud on the channel, I will try to keep them consistent with the messages that I'm getting through my meditations and through the lessons that my guides and Metatron are giving to me. So the long and the short of it is, sometimes we don't realize that the messages that we are getting are to our highest good. But like the story, I've learned that this was for my highest good to not post the story. And the reason was that Nigel turned out to be absolutely spot on. So with that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for reading, for commenting, for sharing these videos, and for letting me be a part of your spiritual journey. I am very grateful to, not just to you for watching, but I'm grateful to my guides. I'm grateful to Metatron, and I hope that you will have something positive to take away from all of this. I wish you a wonderful day. Take care. And as always, namaste.